Okay, so today's Thursday, March 23rd, and I haven't put a video out in a couple of days just because what's been going on inside of Bitcoin is it's been in a chop zone, a zone where it's just kind of going back and forth, and the moves aren't necessarily big enough to make a whole lot of money, so it's really difficult to trade it if you're into trading it. I'm generally like a long-term hold person, but I've been doing some trades here and there, and I have to admit that I've been having a difficult time staying out of the chop. So I've had some trades go up and down. Out of a total of 9 trades, I was only up $80. And once you calculate in fees and everything else like that, I was, a little bit under. So, instead of that, I just thought I'd share what I'd been looking at, what I was acting on, and catch you guys up on what I think might be coming up in the near future. So, this is the zone that we entered into uh, earlier this week. And I drew in this pitchfork, and this pitchfork was in a previous video. And this pitchfork I thought was, pretty accurate, came up through here. And then it broke down right here. Once it went down here and went south, that broke that pitchfork, and I was waiting for a whole nother zone to come up. So that came down, and then that was just yesterday, it looks like. And then I drew in another fork once we got a little bit of a pattern, but then that pitchfork's already broken down. So, it's got two slight uptrends with some downtrends. Pitchforks probably haven't been around long enough to be legit, but I'm just drawing them in to kind of get a feel for the ranges that I want to take a look at, and I'll expand it as necessary. Again, this is all just kind of on the fly learning and charting and revising and spotting trends. So, the site that I'm using for all of this is TradingView, tradingview.com, and I'm a big fan of it. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to go ahead and do a pro package with them really soon. And one of the reasons is I discovered this tool where you can draw in a trend line, and then you can actually add an alert on that trend. So I have an alert set. Let's see if I can pull up the alerts. So it looks like that closed. So let me just go ahead and set an alert. Okay, I'll delete that. Click on the line. Just click on the line, and then you click add alert on trend line. So now if the price crosses this trend line that you drew, you'll get an alert. That is really, really nice. Really great. I love it. And then, I create it, and then I can move this trend line around. So it's created, and then if I decide I want to move it over here or down there, whatever, the whole thing still alerts. So I just think that's a really great feature. So getting back to the chart, a lot of great things about TradingView, and I'll continue to cover the things that I like as I do more videos. So what happened is we broke down here pretty quickly. And so then I was like, all right, well, now what are we doing? So what's going to happen now? So I grabbed another pitchfork. I drew this one in. And you'll notice that this pitchfork is headed down. Now, this is really early. I can't say that this is going to be a confirmation. But if it does take hold, then we could see, 962, 987, all the way down to like 935. This is really early. This is, not something I would trade on. It's something I'm watching to see if it develops. I do think it's a pretty good possibility we'll see 990. And if we break below that, then we're kind of in another area. We're outside of the chop, and we're into bear territory, at least short term. So that's what I see on Bitcoin the next 24 hours, 48 hours or so. Then I'm going to switch speeds here a little bit. I'm going to talk about Snapchat. So, I do trade some stocks here and there, and Snapchat is one of those. It gives me nightmares when I used to trade .com stocks. So I usually try to stay away from these. But I follow I'll put a link in the video description, a sentiment trader, a guy who's just really been nailing these kinds of trades as far as where sentiment is. So if the market's really, really bearish, you want to be on the other side of that trade. That way, when it moves, it's going to move with velocity. So this guy called out last week that Snapchat, ticker Snap, the sentiment was so bearish that he was going bullish. Now, he called it a week ago. when the stock was like down here at 19 something, like pretty much at the lows. And you can see what it's done since then. It's really just kind of like been taken off. So, you know, I really have a lot of respect for sentiment traders. I recommend you guys check out his blog. He's got a great track record. I'll put it in the description. And Snapchat's one I'm kind of watching. I wouldn't trade it personally, except that I really like this guy has got such a great track record. I've been dabbling here and there with a couple different plays in it. And so far I did well today. So we'll see how that plays out over the next couple days. Tomorrow, Friday, it's probably expected to be flat, but next week he's expecting like $25, $30 in Snapchat. So that could be a stock to play if you're willing to do it. So do your own research. I'll have a follow-up video on that. And yeah, that's all. Well, the only other thing I wanted to talk about, and then I'll close the video, is all of the talk about the fork. You notice I don't spend a lot of time on that. It's gotten to the point where I just can't even read the Twitter posts or digest another blog article about it. And it's not that I don't care, but the arguing and the back and the forth. And really at the end of the day, it's going to resolve itself one way or another. And it could be short-term negative, but long-term for Bitcoin, I don't see anything that's going to take Bitcoin down permanently. So I'm interested in 5-minute digest per day, but I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it, and so I don't cover it too much on the blog. But that's my thought on the fork. I'd be happy to answer any questions if somebody has a question, but that's it for today, and I'll post another video soon. Thanks you guys for watching.